Well, hello everyone. I may have got some new irons. And if you looked at the thumbnail or read the title, you'll know that they're Tiger's irons, so the P7TWs. So I've basically picked them up today as the sun starts to break through here, by the way. So I'm at Grand Del Mar. I'm going to head out. I'm going to be testing them out on the golf course. I've already hit a few on the driving range just to acclimatise myself to them, and so far, so good-ish. They're definitely not as long as my current irons, although I did absolutely nail the middle of a flag that I was aiming for, so they might be a little bit more accurate. And guys, make sure you head down into those comments below. Let me know what the best irons are that you have ever had. I'm excited to get out with these irons. I'm excited to see what they're like. And I'm basically going to be doing an iron-only vlog, so I'm not even going to bother using my woods. I'm going to play off on the back tees as well. Just like, I'll show you. I personally think they look absolutely glorious in my bag. They're so shiny, I'm struggling to focus. They're actually focusing on the reflections. Oh, how amazing would that have been if I'd have birdied the first 4-iron, 9-iron, pin eye, misread the putt. Also done a little bit of an unboxing on the range with these. So when you buy these irons, which are not cheap, they are $2,000, they come in this nice presentation box. It really gives that nice feeling, that touch of class. There's a little letter in there from, not exactly Tiger himself, but you know what I mean, it's signed Tiger telling you all about the irons. And I've also chatted to Matt Bovey at TaylorMade about basically Tiger's input into these irons, how he helped design them, and that's coming in the middle of the video. But for now, let's play a few holes. Oh man, that would have been a good birdie. So I'll quote Tiger directly on these irons. He says, "When you look down at these irons, you are looking at the result of every range session, event, victory, and major championship from my 22 years as a professional golfer." So one thing which is noticeable actually straight away is the length of the blade. So the 3-iron is shorter or less longer. Shorter? Yeah, that's the right word, isn't it? It's basically not as long as the shorter iron. So it's weird, like the 8-iron, the 9-iron, the 7-iron, they look... So those longer irons, they do look so small, so compact, but the strike on them so far has actually been really good. I don't think I'm going to hit another stinger though. It doesn't run out much in California compared to a Lynx. Listen, it's no biggie. It's no biggie. You know, 3-iron, stiffed wedge. It's just how Tiger makes birdies. They don't need his driver. This is pretty much how I should play now. Specs on these clubs are pretty interesting. So the lofts are softer than I would normally be playing. The shafts are a little bit softer than I would normally play. So these aren't Tiger's shafts. These are S-Tour 400, S400 Tours. It's got Tour S400 in some order. So I'll throw up some of the specs here now, and they do feel definitely softer, a little bit more responsive than my irons. I've hit one shot a little bit more out of the toe, and the feedback I received of that was very different than my muscle backs as well. Just, you can kind of tell that if you hit one of these poorly on a December morning back in the UK, you'd feel it. You'd feel it in your soul, and not in a good way. So I'll throw you over now to Matt Bovey, who basically talked me through the irons, how they were made, some of the input that Tiger had into them, and how they were influenced by his former irons as well. Okay, so...
I was like, oh, we're going.
Oh, okay, we're good. So, here with Matt, and he's just going to explain a little bit about these irons, and exactly the difference between the Tiger blade and then the normal P730. So Matt, take it away. What are the differences between these irons?
Well, obviously the P7TW has a lot of history with Tiger and the development of the iron and what he's grown to like over the past 20 some odd years and what really fits his eye. So there's a lot of specific differences between the 7TW and the 730. Tiger's shape is a bit different in that the blade length actually gets longer as you transition into the short irons, which is a unique characteristic.
Right, okay.
This does a couple different things with the center of gravity as well, as the center of gravity starts to shift more toward, etc., and it gives you a different look in the short irons than you would have in the 730s. Another big difference is the sole geometry. Tiger's sole geometry is much flatter. It's actually very flat in the spectrum of blade design. And you can see that here with kind of like the pronounced heel. There's also less camber on Tiger's iron versus 730. And all of that just comes down to the turf interaction that he likes to feel when he hits his shots. And he's very particular about that turf interaction and specifically the feeling of the golf club. Another big difference between the 7TW and the 730 is the use of tungsten weighting in the 7TW. Now that's not only for CG location, but it's really about feel for Tiger. It changed the way the iron feels for him. He describes it as being a harder, deeper feel than with a traditional blade.
And the design process of this, Matt, so how is this actually kind of created, and what was the process of it? Because I mean, like I said, he's very specific about kind of what he wants designs to be. What was the actual process behind it?
Extremely intensive process if we're gonna like sum up everything into a short story. But basically there's a lot of iteration and a lot of learning both with Tiger and from the master who was making his previous set of irons. So basically we started with what he liked, learned most importantly what he liked and what he didn't like, and we started there with concept number one. And we measured everything about his current gamers back then and did our best to match them. And what we quickly learned is how specific Tiger is. So it actually took 9 prototypes going back and forth to really dial these in to hit the shot windows that Tiger is looking for. So I mentioned how specific he is about feel, but it's also a performance thing. Tiger wants his specific number. He doesn't want, I'm making up this number, right? He doesn't want his 8-iron to go 166, he wants it to go 162. He doesn't want it to launch any higher or any lower, and he wants it to spin an exact number. Very particular. And when you combine that with all of these criteria for a look and feel on the iron shape, it makes it very difficult because you're putting this like totally boxed in from a design perspective to really nail this design.
It has to be more of a mental thing, but my distance control has been awesome. Like if I'm not online, I am just pin high every time. I'm 3 under through 7 holes, and it's been easy. I mean, some of the tees I've not played off the blacks all the time, so that last par 3, just because it looked better on camera, I played it off 120, but even so, like controlling my flight, controlling my trajectory, sunshine. Now, what they'd be like in the hands of a 18 handicapper, I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't straight away recommend it, but it's been, like, the strikes have been fantastic. So this is starting to take the mick a little bit now. I mean, that almost, I reckon that went in. So the pitch mark is there, ball is there. So it's come probably there, then spun that way. It's so strange. I mean, this goes against so much of what I actually tell people about. Get fitted, don't just buy clubs or get clubs because you like the look of them or because Tiger Woods has designed them, stuff like that. It's just no. But I think what you have to bear in mind here is the inspiration factor. Getting a set of Tiger designs, being really excited, just hitting those, and then, having a decent swinging day. And this is kind of the result so far. Try something risky. Got 186, pin is that way. Oh, that's good. Oh, devastated. It's short. Shut up, buggy. Can't miss. I literally can't miss. That's what I mean. The distance control again is so good. So how to sum this up really, I mean, compared to my current irons, they feel fantastic. I mean, they just feel so solid, and yes, I've had a good ball striking evening, there's no doubt about that. My swing's been feeling good, I've been feeling good, there's balloons in the air, happiness and peace is raining down on San Diego. Jesus. But anyway, I mean, I think one of the questions obviously a lot of people are going to be answering is, you know, is this club going to be right for them? And to be honest, when you look down on these irons, if you are not confident with ball striking, no, definitely not. I mean, and the fact is they are $2,000, you know, they're an expensive investment within your game. Speaking to a few guys from TaylorMade, a lot of people have been buying these and not even using them. They're just putting them in their offices and almost having them as a trophy, which is a bloody shame, to be honest. Guys, I just want to say a big thank you to watching. Big thank you to Grand Del Mar for having me down, and big thank you to TaylorMade for actually allowing me to bring these clubs out and have a bash with them. It's been such an amazing evening, so beautiful out here, man. What. Guys, if you are a returning subscriber or you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps me out, really helps me grow the channel and open up new opportunities to film content to deliver to you guys. So please hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below, let us know what your favorite irons have ever been, and man, oh man. See you next time. See what's in my bag.